Between May 6th and May 17th, AP tests are going to be taking place all across the country, and the stress is mounting. We talked to some teachers to find out the best things you can do to prepare.
So when I taught AP Lit in the Bronx, the guy who I was working with at the time was a big proponent of practice test, practice test, practice test, practice test, practice test.
Having students take tests and sort of get the exposure of taking the AP through like practice tests and stuff like that usually calms them down, because I know for me when I was taking APs, the fear of the unknown was bigger than the fear of not doing well on the test.
And I did that, and I hated myself as a teacher. If I liked literature before I came in, I would hate it when I left.
Test taking skills, we focus on the analytical skills that one needs to kind of break test questions down. I think that skill is transferable to other fields as well. I really believe that if my kids prepare properly, they're going to do well.
I'll start with just review of like content that I feel people usually trip up on now that I've been teaching this for 2 years.
Study the words, make sure you're familiar with vocabulary. So if you're asked a question, say about like synecdoche, you can't answer that question if you don't know what synecdoche is. You've lost the game already. So, the more familiar you are with those terms, the better off you'll be.
So for me, it was just see what I know, what I don't know, and then I won't spend my time on stuff that I understand already. If it's something that I can't think of on a low pressure environment a couple weeks ahead of time, then it's not something that I definitely know for the day of.
Index cards, flashcards are key, especially for stuff that require rote memorization. Make sure that you review the old stuff, the stuff we had last semester, because it's not fresh in your mind.
Also going to review sessions with other people who typically have the same questions as you, talking to teachers who have the insight of like what questions are going to be on there usually, what questions aren't.
Each night they should have something already lined up to prepare for, but they should be spending time every day on this.
My advice is it is one day out of your whole life that you're taking this AP. You could be having a bad day and you can get a bad grade on the AP, and it won't really matter in the end. In 10 years when you're working somewhere, you're not even going to remember your AP scores.
The test isn't everything. It doesn't define you.
Eat breakfast, sleep those couple of days leading up to it, because you don't want to be high-strung and super stressed out day of, so that's not going to help you.
Take a deep breath, relax. It's just a test. Worst case scenario, you don't do well. Not the end of the world.
APs don't go crazy with taking a whole bunch of them. APs are not the pinnacle of education or success. If you haven't taken an AP class, that doesn't mean you're a bad student, and if you have taken an AP class, that doesn't mean that you're an amazing student who's super ready for college.